Hi everyone. Um, I'm pretty good at being behind the camera, but not in front of the camera in video. So, some really nice folks had said that I should have like a review channel or something for books, films, culture, whatever. And as you can see, my current setup is a tripod, and an apartment that I'll be moving out of relatively soon. So, excuse the rough setup at the moment. I will eventually get around to making this more watchable in a professional sense. But yeah, I just really wanted to talk about this book called The Dance and the Fire by Daniel Saldaña París. That sounds French, and I'm sure I mispronounced that, so my bad. I love this book. I love this book so much. The writing is so poetic. It is. I'll just provide an example here on page 62. When I began talking to him, however, I had the feeling that his intelligence was too literal and accumulative, that there was no mystery about him. I also thought if his intelligence didn't develop some form of sensibility, it was in danger of withering. Lots of men are like that. They seem brilliantly intelligent for a moment, and then you realize they are databases, learned formulas, and cast iron convictions that, like anything ferric, end up rusting on contact with life. This is very good. I think writing like that in any language is difficult enough, but then to read a translation that keeps the poetry of the original language alive is really, really impressive. So huge shout out to Christina McSweeney for her translation of this. This is a novel where I love stories that are pieces of people's lives. I think I often, as a very dramatic person, as a storyteller, feel like my life is unfolding in chapters in a way that I don't fully see until a chapter is closing. And I tend to gravitate more towards stories where you just get to know people through a certain period of their life, whether it be a week, a day, or whatever, versus trying to give people like a complete arc, because I don't really think those are things. It feels more relatable, I guess, also, when you see people just like dealing with toxic relationships or friendships that really aren't friendships because people didn't show up. Having to do a job because you need the money. So just little bits and pieces like that. And it feels like you're flowing with the rhythm of these people's lives, in a way that is deeply empathetic. I think Dino takes great care to not make these people super like protagonisty. Like they're not like people who command attention in a way that overly written books sometimes tend to do. They're just people going about their lives, and it's just yeah, it's really good. I really love this book. I know they say don't judge a book by its cover, but I fully picked up this book at the bookstore because the cover looked cool. So sometimes the cover does matter. But yeah, from the bookstore, from the library, or Libby, Hoopla, whatever apps you use for audiobooks. I can't speak to the audiobook, but I really love the print version. I don't know, the world's on fire, and depression is fairly severe. And so I found that reading physical fiction has been a little balm. So yeah, The Dance in the Fire by Daniel Saldaña París. I'll get fluent in Spanish shortly. But yeah, it's very good. Give it a read. Okay, bye.